How's it, Yang dudes? All right, so I know I'm uploading kind of early this morning, but got a lot of stuff to do today. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, TMZ. Sorry, TMZ asked Andrew Yang a pretty good question about his vice president pick, and I kind of want to get into that because there hasn't been a lot of talk about, like from Andrew Yang specifically over who his vice president would be. And now that he's starting to get in towards the latter half of the race as far as the Democratic primary goes, it's worth considering, right? So TMZ did a good interview on that, and it seems like TMZ might be a little yang, and we're going to watch that. But first, I just want to update you guys. He went on the H3H3 podcast. So, there's definitely that. You guys should definitely watch it out. I think Ethan did a really good job, and they're obviously Yang Gang. So I'll play just a couple seconds of a clip here real quick, because I might do a dedicated video on it. Just guys let me know in the comment section below before we get into the VP thing. So let's go ahead and check it out.
Fantastic.
Yang Gang!
Yang Gang! Yang Gang! Yang Gang! Yeah. And rolling in on the Gatsby.
Oh
my God, here comes the next president of the United States.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
All right. So there you guys have it. Yeah, Yang, man, he's a beast. What can I say? You know what I mean? Now, I'm not sure. So go check that out. I'm not sure if the TMZ video will get me a copyright strike. It's only a couple minutes. But so I'll probably pause it in a couple different sections. Just because. Yeah. Just a little commentary in there, you know what I'm saying? But also, before we get into that, I'm sorry, I don't want to drag this out, but there has been an update to Andrew Yang's website. The Iowa bus tour thing is not there, so you really can't track that anymore. I just wanted to say that. But also, if you ever go to the Freedom Dividend and you're having trouble convincing people what the Freedom Dividend, maybe you get questions like, won't people stop working? Just click it, and it gives you everything you need to say to make them change their mind. You know what I mean? They have all kinds of questions in here. Isn't it communist socialism, right? So, guys, he makes it so easy for you. And also, I have to say that Illinois is dangerously far away from getting the signatures they need to put Yang on a ballot box. So if you're in Illinois or around Illinois, get your ass out there. That's all I'm saying about that. All right, so TMZ. Let's go ahead and let it play, guys.
Everybody's talking about Russian interference in the 16 election and possibly 2020. I don't really understand the legitimacy of a debate that's predicated on keeping everybody out when, at least in my view, that's impossible.
Yeah, I've talked to the folks in Silicon Valley about how we can protect ourselves from election interference and bots and misinformation from Russia and other countries. And they say that it's virtually impossible as well. And so we are in a world now where we can interfere with other countries' elections. And we all know the U.S. has done that.
Right.
And other countries can interfere with ours. So we need to come clean and say, look, if you interfere with our democratic processes, we're going to take it as an act of hostility and aggression and respond accordingly. Unfortunately, President Trump has no interest in sending that message to Russia.
Okay, so a lot of people in Twitter and a lot of the far left, I know there's some far left on this channel. Most of us are moderate left, center, or right. But I would say that a lot of people don't like him for saying that. They don't like him because everybody's all impeach Trump. And the thing is, if you're being pragmatic and you're really trying to get something done, you can just look at the numbers, and that's not going to get it done. You need to get, over 20 senators, at least 20 senators, and we haven't had a single one jump ship. It's not going to work. It's just not going to pass. It's just all a partisan ploy. It's something to keep the Democrats busy so they don't actually have to pass meaningful bills like, mental health related gun control, like making sure that people who have access to guns also have access to mental health care providers. It's very big. They're not passing any legislation on immigration, any legislation on climate change, any progressive legislation for that matter. They're not doing it. And even this Justice Democrats people, they talk a big talk, but they're not really getting anything done. They introduce legislation that they know won't even get other Democratic votes. So it's the whole thing is all political hackery. It's all political hackery, and he's right for calling it out. Yang is, but they don't like Yang saying that. They don't like Yang giving the facts. You know what I mean? And it's true. But when he says, but people want to say that Yang's not tough on foreign policy. He literally sits there and says that what Donald Trump won't do, what Hillary Clinton won't do, what none of them will do, will say, hey, if you interfere with our election, we will take it as a sign of hostility. We will do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? So Putin better start putting up a fight. Is all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Because he does that kind of stuff. Yang is tough. Yang is tough. Anyways, let's go ahead and play the rest.
As president, I'm going to send that message loud and clear, because it's not a technological problem alone. It's actually an incentives problem. And right now, people feel like their disincentives are not powerful enough to overcome the temptation to undermine our democracy at every turn.
If you get nominated, would your vice presidential pick be someone who was on that stage last night?
We're still talking about who's going to be doing what. There are people on that stage I'd be glad to work with. That's for sure. I would want to have a partner with deep relationships in D.C. and on Capitol Hill, because as someone from outside of D.C., I would need that complement to get things done. And the person could very well have been on that stage last night.
You were really, really...
All right, so the person very well could have been on that stage last night. I know Biden is kind of worried about automation, so I have to give him props on that. As much as, you know, I think that he, you know, he's getting elder. You know what I mean? I'm not one to be ageist, but that it's wearing on that poor man. You know, and so I don't really necessarily think of Biden, even though Biden's pretty good on you know, on the concerns for automation. But Bernie would be really cool. Bernie would be a great VP ticket for Yang if Yang eclipses Bernie. Oh, that would be wonderful. But they haven't really ever talked about much about Yang's VP, so I'm glad to see that he's actually thinking about it. I'm glad to see that, you know, you definitely need somebody like a running mate who's in political office to kind of get that kind of stuff done. You know what I mean? Because Yang is such an outsider that they would be fighting him tooth and nail. So you're going to need somebody like Bernie Sanders, maybe Elizabeth Warren, or even a Joe Biden. You know, somebody to actually help you navigate the political waters that you're not familiar with, if that makes sense.
Great last night, and you're a different voice, and it's really enjoyable watching you participate in this. I really mean that.
Well, thank you so much. I think part of it was that my wife was in the audience last night. You know, I was trying to find her, like scanning the audience. And then at the end of the debate, I felt like Rocky at the end of the movie where he's like, Adrian. And so I was just like walking around the stage yelling, Evelyn, where are you? And I couldn't see out of my left eye.
All right, that's pretty funny. I like that. Yang out with the jokes, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, I love it. But there you go, guys. What is this VP ticket? You know what I'm saying? We don't know. So let's push him in a direction we think will be good. I think that if Yang comes out and says something nice about Bernie Bros will be more a little supportive of him, right? You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't think Pete Booty needs to be. No, we don't like Pete Booty. Wine Cave Pete. And oh, speaking of Wine Cave Pete, boy, did I touch a nerve of some of the far left on this channel. I love you guys, but this right here, obviously, many more people watch it or see it and like it and just like and go on. But there's a very vocal minority who didn't like this for some odd reason, even though Yang goes after him about the wine cave a little bit, and it's just a joke. It's just funny, you know what I mean? Pete takes bribes from billionaires. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like he doesn't. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like he censors it. It's not, and it's not hostile to call out the dirty dealings of the candidates who are his competition. Make no mistake, they are his competition, and it's not vitriolic. It's just a joke. But let's see here. Let's see. So yeah, this isn't the message the Yang Gang should be sending. It's not progressive. It's getting into the pit with the rest of the idiots. So I guess when Bernie attacks Biden, I guess Bernie's not progressive. It makes no sense, right? It makes no sense. Like I say, I'll always call out frauds. And Yang called him out on the debate. So somebody came to my defense and said she's a bunch of purists announcing a harmless joke as if it defines their own and Yang's moral character, ignoring suspicions and corruption, but because calling it out as somehow renunciation of high moral ground sounds counterintuitive. Damn, boy, got him. Yes. So all this crying ridiculous about you people. The more we call out the corrupt, the better. Nice, big, hilarious. Unfortunately, we won't get anywhere with folks throwing stones and fighting windmills. Humanity first. That is, of course, your opinion. Do you have the right to it? I didn't see that part where you called anyone out on anything, and if you did, you saw something the rest of us didn't. It isn't the style of political agenda Yang get. What do you mean? I'm calling him out on his billionaire bribes from the wine cave, and Yang called him out too, if that's what you're talking about. He literally said shaking. Well, that's what I say. Yang literally says, so you don't have to shake the money tree in the wine cave. A direct jab at Pete. Also, I'm my own man and my own opinion. I don't subscribe to groupthink. If you want to debate it further, my Discord is always open. And I mean that, you know what I mean? I'm not in a bubble. I'll talk to anybody, and I don't hate this guy, Dean Miller. I hope he stays a subscriber. I love him. You know what I'm saying? I love him. I just disagree. The fact that you had to tell your leftist followers that this is a joke tells you how sensitive y'all are. And I had to correct him, you know. We have many different followers from the political spectrum. Many right, many left. It's usually the far left who need to satisfy their wokeness. In my opinion, if Pete wasn't gay, they wouldn't care. So I need to edit that. Oh shit! No, edit. Anyways, yeah. So I don't know. I thought it was funny. If you guys want to spread this meme around, go for it. So yeah, that's all. I just wanted to touch base on that because I had me cracking up last night. I was having a good time with that. Okay, so anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Make sure you smack a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I appreciate you. Love you. Bye.